Now, there was a situation last year with Dominique DeShields that went down when she played for the Chicago Sky.
Getting waived is crazy because, like, what do you do after you get waived?
She pushed Caitlin Clark pretty hard.
I got all my stuff up here.
Now, I remember when that situation happened, it basically caused a lot of uproar.
That I drove in a rental car from Atlanta.
What if I was to tell you she is no longer in the league because she not only got let go by the Chicago Sky, she has been let go by the New York Liberty, and she's crying online about it.
And now I have to drive all my stuff back to Atlanta.
It wasn't just a cheap shot, it was a career killer. Diamond DeShields, once praised for her tenacity, just crossed a line that might erase her name from professional basketball forever. The footage is burned into every fan's mind. It wasn't defense. It wasn't a foul. It was an unprovoked strike against Caitlin Clark. And the ripple effect? Devastating. The league didn't just take notice, it dropped the hammer.
Diamond DeShields, Caitlin Clark is trying to cut in this position right here. And Diamond DeShields just body checks her. Like, it's a foul. Nothing more, nothing less. It is an off-the-ball foul.
Now, the headlines are clear. Diamond DeShields is suspended and unofficially blacklisted. Behind the scenes, sources say it's deeper than discipline. It's protection, not just for Caitlin Clark, but for the league's integrity. DeShields crossed a line that's now engraved in WNBA history, and the league just delivered its most decisive message yet. Target the face of our future, and you're done.
Caitlin Clark gets hit from behind. It looks so much worse at other angles. That angle cuts off just how bad, egregious it was from Diamond DeShields. And Caitlin Clark jumps up and runs away from Diamond DeShields.
No offers, no calls, no training camp invites. DeShields isn't just on the sidelines, she's been erased from the playbook. The same player who once played with swagger and fire is now in a social media spiral, posting cryptic messages and unanswered questions. Her fall from grace is no longer a rumor. It's reality.
It looked like there's another player that has wronged Caitlin Clark, and they're out of the league. The league is getting rid of the Caitlin Clark haters, bro.
Alone, jobless and discarded, DeShields is now stuck in limbo. Stranded with her bags in the backseat and a silence louder than any press conference, all because of a single choice, a reckless hit on the most important player women's basketball has seen in a generation. She didn't just hit Clark, she hit a movement.
Kennedy Carter assaults Caitlin Clark on the court. That's Kennedy Carter. That was Caitlin Clark. She'll run up behind her. She's going to call her a bitch right here, and she's going to viciously slam Caitlin Clark to the floor. What is going on in this league?
This isn't about one roster cut. It's a statement, etched in bold. You come for Caitlin Clark, you lose everything. The WNBA isn't just protecting a player. It's protecting a brand, a legacy, and a rising era. And they've just made it clear, there's zero tolerance for targeted hate disguised as tough play.
Caitlin Clark is the cash cow in this league. She is the needle mover.
But here's what has fans furious. Why did it take this long? And who else is skating by unchecked? The DeShields fallout isn't isolated, it's a turning point. So if you support Caitlin Clark, type CC 100% in the comments and flood this feed with support.
Man, oh man, when Caitlin Clark does something, everybody celebrates. When Caitlin Clark does something, there is no jealousy.
Let's rewind to the hit that shifted everything. It didn't come from passion, it wasn't a misread, it came from spite, an attack fueled by resentment and aimed straight at the league's brightest light. The kind of act you don't walk away from clean, the kind of moment that exposes who's really playing the game and who's trying to tear it down.
So Caitlin Clark played against the Chicago Sky just there, and we're pretty confident that she got cheap shotted, and there is a sequence of plays that's crazy, and it leads to Caitlin Clark basically telling her team, is it Erica Wheeler, that she wanted to fight Diamond DeShields.
It was a regular season matchup, Indiana versus Chicago. Everything seemed normal until it wasn't. DeShields made her move, a full body blow with no attempt at playing the ball. The crowd went silent, the broadcasters stuttered, and the timeline lit up like wildfire. Everyone saw it for what it was, dirty, calculated, and completely out of bounds.
Diamond DeShields, Caitlin Clark is trying to cut in this position right here, and Diamond DeShields just body checks her. Like, it's a foul. Nothing more, nothing less. It is an off-the-ball foul.
With just a few minutes left, as Indiana sealed the win, DeShields lowered her shoulder and charged at Clark like a linebacker. Her eyes locked, her body angled, There was no doubt about the intent. It wasn't basketball. It was a hit job. And the aftermath? It hit harder than the play itself.
She assaulted Caitlin Clark on the court. Right before Caitlin Clark came off the court with 3:52 left.
She smacked Clark to the hardwood. Then, in a move that made blood boil, she reached out her hand. Fake concern written all over her face, like the cameras hadn't caught everything. Like fans hadn't seen the wind-up. No apology, no remorse. Just a smirk and a shrug. The fans, they weren't fooled. Neither were the analysts. And social media, it turned that clip into a firestorm. Everyone called it what it was: intentional and unforgivable.
DeShields actually getting waived from the Connecticut Sun just one day prior to tomorrow's May 16th, WNBA 2025 season tip-off. She looked heartbroken and in pain, with the news of her being waived from the Connecticut Sun.
Getting waived is crazy because, what do you do after you get waived? I got all my stuff up here that I drove in a rental car.
It didn't stop there. Analysts and former players lit up the airwaves. Adrienne Ross didn't hold back, calling the act the most obvious fake sportsmanship we've ever seen. Fans compared it to the Kennedy Carter incident, only this time the hit was cleaner. If by clean you mean perfectly aimed at humiliation. And still, the refs said nothing. The league said less. But fans, they made sure it wouldn't be forgotten.
So Caitlin Clark played against the Chicago Sky just there. And we're pretty confident that she got cheap shotted. And there is a sequence of plays that's crazy. And it leads to Caitlin Clark basically telling her team, is it Erica Wheeler, that she wanted to fight Diamond DeShields.
The silence was deafening. No whistle, no ejection, no suspension. And it enraged everyone watching. The cameras had all the angles. The receipts were piling up. Still, DeShields walked off that court like nothing happened. But the fans, they kept receipts, they kept pressure, and the question grew louder. What kind of league lets this slide? The backlash didn't fade, it snowballed. Until finally, the consequence came knocking.
WNBA commissioner playing in house with these Caitlin Clark haters.
And when it did, it came fast. First, she was benched, then let go, quietly. No headlines, just gone. Chicago gave her the silent treatment. Then came the Liberty, a glimmer of hope. That lasted minutes. Then Connecticut tried. But on the eve of the season opener, they waived her too. No call-up, no farewell, just cut. And in the most heartbreaking twist yet, she broke down on camera. No rant, just pain.
As the lovely Lee Ross always says, women in sports do not want to see other women in sports succeed. It's just the way they're built.
She sat alone in her car, the trunk overflowing with her career. She had driven hours for one more chance, only to be dropped without warning. No rental to drive home. No press to cover her goodbye. Just a phone, a camera, and a voice cracking under the weight of a dream slipping through her fingers. Her words were soft, but the message was sharp. She's out, not suspended, erased.
Somebody said that the Diamond DeShields flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark was more dangerous than the Kennedy Carter one.
What followed felt like a silent ban. No official memo, no headlines, but every GM got the message. This wasn't a timeout, it was a shutdown. Commentators are whispering it, players are seeing it. She's the latest. They're cleaning house. First Carter, now DeShields. And more might be next because the league is making something very clear. Cross the line with Caitlin Clark and your jersey gets folded for good.
Diamond DeShields lays out Caitlin Clark because all the Sky's untalented women is what they have left is racist rage.
The DeShields' downfall is now the cautionary tale. She didn't just lose a job, she lost her identity. The attack on Clark is now the only thing anyone remembers. Not the points, but the hit and the silence that followed. And fans, they're not holding back. Some call it karma, some others call it justice. Either way, it's irreversible.
Getting waived is crazy because, what do you do after you get waived? I got all my stuff up here that I drove in a rental car.
It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about what Clark represents. For some, she's hope. For others, a threat. Her rise disrupted the old system. Her shine outpaced the gatekeepers, and some couldn't handle it. They lashed out, they tried to shake her, but it backfired because every hit made her bigger, stronger, louder, and every time they tried to shut her down, The league and the fans only elevated her higher.
There's the two sides who think she is only popular and does have the notoriety and recognition that she does because she is white. There is the other side that says you guys are crazy, you're all jealous of her, and she is just talented.
Right, and that's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry. When I look at Caitlin Clark, fans are tuning in to watch her. And you know who that's helping? Everybody else. It's helping the Asia Wilsons. It's helping everybody else, the Plums, all that. It's helping all of them, the Taurasi.
Now we're at a crossroads. The WNBA is evolving, and players have a choice: grow with it or get left behind. Caitlin Clark is the bar now. She's the future, and anyone who thinks they can take her down with dirty hits or tired politics. They're not just losing the game, they're losing their place in it. So ask yourself, who's next? And will the league keep choosing progress or sync with the past? So if you're riding with Caitlin Clark, type CC 100% in the comments and make it echo through the algorithm, because this era, it belongs to her.